Finally time to start the next chapter. Hello everyone, it's SK95. Welcome back to more Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Last time, we managed to complete a mission involving a certain character that's exclusive to the definitive version of the game. And this time, finally time to start the next story chapter. So, in order to start the next story chapter, you need to do the following. You both need to have 20% of Noctilum done. This is why we did those missions back in Noctilum. And a friend in needs affinity mission needs to be completed. This happens a lot. You're gonna need to complete those affinity missions, and recommended level is 23. So, for Chapter 6, Dark Matters.
Don't just stand there! Push back! We can't let them get close! Even our skills are powerless before them.
Continuing to persist here is meaningless. It will only serve to thin our ranks.
After all this time, we've finally found a clue that may lead us to the Great One.
With respect, the phenomenon space surrounding this planet is only 800 exodents in diameter. 3 days at light speed is more than enough to scour it thoroughly. If the Great One or the Samar Federation homeland were here, don't you think we would have found something by now? It's one thing to engage the enemy all the way out near that forsaken chunk of rock they call Earth. But then to be swallowed up by that strange light and dumped off here in this primordial hellhole? Are we cursed? And trapped with humans of all things. It's like some sick joke. If someone told me this was death, I'd believe them.
All the more reason to persist. We must retrieve it if we ever hope to escape the confines of this phenomenon.
Grandmaster Luxor,
Speak.
I bring news.
Really? And he can be trusted? Most interesting. Yes, a most interesting proposal indeed.
What should I whip up today?
I'm feeling something raised.
That is a great idea.
Lindley, what is Lindley making?
Beef braised in wine. Hey, Tatsu, why don't you relax and take a bath before dinner? Got one all ready for you.
Tatsu love nice and hot bath before eating. Did Lindley use bath salts? Color and smell is lovely, just like it. Lindley, this is not bathtub. This is pot of boiling wine.
Little Spud's smarter than he looks. I suppose I'm just gonna have to use regular old beef instead.
Lindley is not funny. Lindley is not funny.
Okay, everyone, let's eat.
Now that was a meal. I'm impressed, Lynn. My team could learn a thing or two.
I'm glad you liked it.
But you didn't stop by just for a meal, did you?
No. You know me, Elma. It's about a job.
It would seem to us the good sir would like to pick our brain. Of course, we will gladly let him in one ear and out the other.
Almost, El. Almost that time.
An alien mech? What type?
No idea. It doesn't match anything on record as far as I can tell. No one's seen anything like it. It looks abandoned, too. Totally ripe for the picking.
Oh man, you're giving me goosebumps!
Right? It's located here.
That's pretty deep in Noctilum. No wonder you wanted to talk to El.
Exactly. But here's the rub. The Ganglion are after it, too. From what we can tell over Frontier Nav, they've gone after it several times already, and failed.
Well, yes, that doesn't surprise us in the least. That's Tainted land.
Tainted? That doesn't sound good.
They are savage beasts, ferocious, insatiable.
He's talking about these.
We didn't run into anything like that in Noctilum, did we?
The Tainted are territorial. They only dwell deep within a specific part of the forest there. Although it doesn't seem right to even call it a forest anymore.
Why do you say that?
Because the Tainted devour any and all living things. Apart from other Tainted, that is.
You mean even mighty Tatsu not safe?
Indeed, you would be swallowed whole. The Tainted would make no bones about you, I'm afraid.
Interesting. It must be formidable to be defeating the Ganglion over and over.
But if what El says is true, it could work in our favor.
Right. Our bodies are artificial mins. If the Tainted don't perceive us as living things, we might be safe.
Let's back up a sec. You reported all this to the commander? Our top priority above all else is supposed to be searching for the life hole. Are you suggesting we set that aside to try and recover this mech?
Exactly. Commander Vandam is why I'm here. He specifically requested I enlist your team. It's just as you say. There's no time for us to screw around. And we still absolutely need to find the life hold. But remember, the fact is we're also dealing with hostile Xenos here. Xenos who destroyed Earth and want every last one of us dead. Xenos who also seem to want this mech, and desperately.
And if it's that important to them?
Right. What if it's a secret weapon, powerful enough to tip the scales?
Feels like a bit of a long shot, to be honest. But okay. Even if we can't use it, we should at least keep it from the Ganglion. Count us in. Any objections?
No, ma'am.
Glad to hear it.
But if we're going to take this on, we'll need to keep it quick.
Roger that. El and Tatsu, you hang back. Unlike us, the Tainted would target you guys for sure.
Oh, most considerate of you, good sirs.
Oh, Lindley! Lindley care about Tatsu after all!
Well, of course. After all this time watching over you and fattening you up, I'm not about to let my prize turkey go to some rabid indigents.
The Noctilum retrieved the alien mech.
Everybody set?
Yes, sir. Ready to go.
Someone's excited.
Just doing my job.
Speaking of which, it's pretty amazing you made White Whale crew at your age. You have family here?
My mom and dad passed away. They didn't make it.
That day? The attack on Earth?
No, sir. It was before that. An accident.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. My parents were both design engineers who worked on the White Whale project. But there was a mishap with the primary engine test. Still, it's thanks to them and people like them that the rest of us are all still here, you know? They made the White Whale spaceworthy. so they didn't die in vain. At least, that's what I like to think.
I see. So they gave you a spot on the White Whale to say thanks. Thanks to your parents for all their hard work.
It's a debt I try to repay every day, helping out folks any way I can.
Don't misunderstand, Lau. Lynn earned her spot on the crew like anyone else. It was her talent and determination that made it happen. Her parents' positions provided an environment for her to learn in, but that's it. Lynn got to where she is now entirely on her own.
It's okay, Elma.
No, she's right. Sometimes I talk before thinking. Sorry about that.
Don't be silly. You don't need to apologize to me, sir. Now, shall we get going?
Time for more. Also, a lot of your party members will be not available to you with the exception of Lau. So, let's have Lau into the party. And let's get him upgraded and customized because unfortunately his gear is kind of outdated right now. So, before we hit the Noctilum, we need to do this, of course. So, I'm going to cut ahead just because it's a little more convenient just to get everything done and not have to worry about, you know, gear modifying and whatnot. Alright, we've done that. Lau has been upgraded and customized. By the way, I have managed to edit party members a little bit as well as everyone else. Change their weapons, give them better equipment gear. Pretty much gave them all upgraded gear. Yeah, the strongest gear I can get on them. Well, I could actually have added more legging to myself. It's better that I don't do it right now. So, for that, Lau, of course, got some new skills because he leveled up and we might as well put the electric boost onto him. He has a lot of skill points because he's not been used in a while. Believe me, Lau doesn't really get used as much. I'll explain later, but right now, though, he has a lot of skill points and battle points. So let's go and upgrade the battle points while we have them and just go on our merry way. So before then, of course, we need to get ourselves more electric damage because electric damage is his mainstay, and honestly, it's actually pretty good. Though later on, he's gonna get some better arts later in the future, but for now, I can't really do anything of it. The main one he's going to be using, though, is his aura, so it's actually pretty useful. Besides that, though, Topple is going to be a very useful art. Sadly, though, in this fight, in this chapter, you're not going to do Topple all that much of that one in particular, because unfortunately, all the enemies are not going to be any sort of, like, humanoids. Instead, they're going to be something else entirely. Speaking of which, Lynn has her well down. I might as well upgrade that to max because I need to. So if that's done, we have a lot of done to that. Okay, good. Now Elma's left for his battle points because I need to use those battle points as much as possible. As much as I'd like blood sacrifice on myself, I really don't think Elma needs it. So instead, let's give her primer and get rid of the blood sacrifice because it's not going to be useful for her yet. There we go. Very good. We got a lot of damage off, and now we can actually get more damage off. Sadly, though, I think that's the most I can do at this moment. As much as Executioner sounds good in theory, in practicality, it doesn't really do as much. We still have a lot of arts left for us, so let's go and boost the damage output of Incendiary Edge. Incendiary Edge is pretty much the main big art I'm going to need to boost, and Offensive Stance as well. And then let's finish it off with Burning Slash, so that way we can increase the amount of thermal resist down for a while. That's pretty much the last thing I can do, unfortunately. There's going to be a lot of more arts later besides that, and Flame Grenade is pretty much the last thing I have left. Alright. With all that done, finally we can continue on. Okay. Glad we did those story missions, by the way, because... oh boy. It's in an area you've never been to before. Probably wondering, where the heck do you go to get up there? Well, ironically enough, it's actually very simple. Go to 203 first. Now, unironically enough, if you have not done much of the Affinity missions at all to get to this area, I highly recommend doing so because the area is long. Very long. Anyway, Strange Tree. Treasure spot. Perfect. Another energy clip for me. That's actually something I really want. Energy clips are very important for me. Because of our level ups, we actually are able to, well, take on enemies that are a bit above our level. Now, of course, like I said before, this area is still prone to a lot of enemies, and it's not exactly hard to understand. We're going to be fighting a lot of enemies in the future, and believe me, this story chapter doesn't have as many enemies compared to all the other story chapters in the game. If you really want to know where you're going, Volleyball is your friend. It will tell you where to go, pretty much where the right path is. That's pretty much the main thing you use volleyball for. Really, affinity missions don't really need it all that much because you know where you're going if you've gone to the path. It's pretty much the main thing I want to say outright. But besides that, though, these cicadas, or rather suniculas, are not friendly. They're typically one of the most non-friendly things in the game, and they will kill you if they get too close. Just try to avoid them as much as possible. That's pretty much my main advice for all of you. That's pretty much the main thing. I'm gonna grab treasure on my way there because A, treasure is important, and B, you want the most experience you possibly can get, especially around here. Lynn is 1 level short, which unfortunately is a sad thing, but you can get the level ups very quickly here. I highly recommend if you're picking the class of sword, your sword class, of the longsword, you can use it to an advantage because it's one of the better classes for this chapter because there's going to be a lot of enemies grouped up together. Also, I recommend outright that this chapter has a lot of enemies that are going to be unique for their class. Not exactly that bad, all things considered, but at the same time, as you can see, I am running into a lot of level 40 enemies. Yeah, the chapter has a weird habit. You can slip past them by just going past there and just, you know, going all the way around by slipping through the cracks. Besides that, though, as you can see, not easy. I believe that I could conceivably avoid all of them. However, there is a trade-off for this. Unfortunately, that every single trade-off is always like this. Yeah, this is a ganglion stronghold. You're going through a ganglion stronghold to get to the next chapter. Now, 210 could take you closer, but the problem with that is I hate going to 210 and back. It's just not my fun thing to deal with. Unfortunately, I like ganglion strongholds. They have one huge negative. It's the fact that the area has a lot of snipers that will attack you. That's the main thing I want to say outright is the biggest worry because those guys will attack you at distance and their range is stupid. I don't know why it's like this, it just is. The blood pools, by the way, will always do poison damage to you. That's pretty much another thing you want to keep an eye out on. But besides that, we're pretty much finally free of this area. Now we've finally reached the main part of the area that you want to get to. Well, in particular, the main part you want to get to is around this location. Now, we finally meet to a beaten path.
Which way?
If we go straight, we should hit some caves that lead to our destination.
Okay then, let's go.
So, caves, and even the game's telling you go that way. Well, here's a caveat about that. Unfortunately, those caves are a long distance away. Dead Man's Ingress is not exactly the most fun area. By the way, I'm changing the daytime because it's a bit nicer in daytime. That big enemy is no longer around in daytime. So besides that, though, there's a lot of enemies around here. And of course, those Morophiles that you all remember? Well, Morophile-like enemies, well, yeah, they're asleep. Just go near them, they wake up. And they attack in groups. Not fun. Besides that, though, it's pretty obvious how they work. Not exactly too difficult to deal with them. Alright, here we go. Burning slash, and then we go. Very good. Boom. Lynn's taking the aggro, which is far better than you may think. Now, this is a good opportunity if you manage to do the combos right. Use Tornado Blade repeatedly in order to get your TP up, because you're gonna need it for the next chapter. So let's go target the body parts, because we need to push, yeah, destroyed. And boom. And then finish it off with a Incendiary Edge. Boom. Very good. This is actually way more easier than I may think. And Lynn leveled up to 23. Nice, I needed that. I needed that in particular because Lynn is actually one of the lowest levels party members, and we're gonna need this for later. And believe me, I recommend having experience gear for now because experience gear boosts the experience you get in battle, and it's pretty good. And takedown shot is now available for her, and that's actually pretty good. Sadly though, Elma still has one fatal flaw, is the TP spamming arts is not good. We have overdrive again, and tempting to use it. I'm not gonna use it though, because unfortunately for me, I don't like spamming TP arts unless I have to. This is where I'm gonna have to though. Boom. Class up, rank up again, very good. Almost done for class, ironically enough. It's still like very easy to get classes done now. There is a concern about this area that I typically do not like. Yep, that's a lot. I'm gonna cut a lot of these battles out because unfortunately they take time and I really don't want to waste my time with this. There's no way I push them off a cliff. So unfortunately I have no choice but to deal with these guys now rather than later. So yeah, I'm gonna be cutting a lot of these battles out because these random battles suck and there's no way to avoid them. So I'm gonna do this every single time. Finally free of that enemy. Okay, there's even more. Yeah, these guys like spawn in like way too much. I don't know why. Terrible. They are terrible, actually. They are legitimately terrible. Hey, look, I finally got an equipment gear. Good grief, needed that. So that's done with. Now there's a worry about this area. That guy's a tyrant. Yeah, that's not fun, is it? So you gotta slip past him. Not gonna be easy though, and I'm likely gonna get attacked. So if I get killed, I'll cut ahead. Be right back. Oh, thank goodness I avoided it like the plague. Okay. I always get caught by that thing, and it's never fun for me. There's gonna be a lot of these false theists around the area, so you can fight them if you want. I'm gonna cut the battles out because unfortunately these are forced battles and nothing else. Everyone will have to fight these things at some point. Not fun, and typically this is one of the worst things about the game. And this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then gonna do this one. Boom. Very good. Boom. That extended length is insanely good. No. Oh. Well, you're almost dead anyway. It doesn't matter. Ooh, something for Lynn. I actually do want that. Lynn actually will finally have a new equipment piece for once. Yeah, if you have the party members set up where you're in the lead, other party members won't exactly get all the gear at once. Speaking of which, somebody got some new arts, and I'm gonna check them. All right, me, the takedown shot. This is only because of Infinity and nothing else. Wow God, Speed Demon, and Trident Buster. Not exactly the most powerful of arts. It's a TP art, so it's gonna waste a lot of TP. But besides that, it's actually pretty good. I will say though, he has a lot of good arts right now, and I really don't like moving them around too much. I think I'm gonna get rid of First Down because right now we're not dealing with humanoid enemies and he's not gonna care about it that much. So let's do that, boost the damage output. That way we have more damage from our range combo. He has a lot of range anyway, so it doesn't really matter all that much to me. So let's just continue on. So let's actually keep going forward. Now, this story chapter, out of all the story chapters, is a bit of a breakaway from the action. And as you see, yep, he is pretending to be asleep. Yep. Unfortunately, these guys are very much annoying. You cannot avoid them as much as possible. Trust me on this one, I have tried repeatedly to get gear that will avoid the battle. Nothing. Nothing avoids these stupid things. And nothing ever will. Believe me, it sucks. I really wish I didn't have to fight these guys, and it's not my favorite thing in the world to deal with. Well, I destroyed the claw. Great. The claw. Okay. Better resist. Getting rid of all the limbs is pretty much gonna kill this guy very easily. And boom, boom, boom.
I never imagined this is where life was going to take me.
Okay, we're going back on to the fight. We're actually gonna be just running into enemies every single time during the cave. Ironically enough, there's going to be a pro placement site at the end of all this, so that's pretty good, all things considered. But besides that, though, this chapter is having a humongous plethora of enemies. Is the main thing you want to worry about. Dead Man's Gulch is the area that we're finally here.
This means we're getting close.
Yeah, it's just ahead.
Elma?
Relax. They won't bother us if we don't bother them.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but...
Maybe you think they're non-aggressive enemies, right? Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they're sound-based enemies. Unlike the proximity-based enemies like I talked about before, you can tell the difference between them based on the style of their thing. Their proximity is actually quite small. But at the same time, I recommend fighting them because they actually do have a lot of good drops. Let's get that run replacement because we're going to be needing this because it's going to be a very good placement site later. And there actually is some treasure over here. Boom. Okay, very good. Now, I recommend some fighting here because of this. Ironically enough, they're actually one of the better items spots to get, and they're very similar to the Grexes. Same weaknesses apply. If they lose their tail, they lose their damage output. So we can actually fight them if we want to, and ironically enough, they're actually very easy to take down. Because they're like Rexes, their fighting style is pretty much the 1-to-1 to them. You're not really going to experience too much difference between the two. There we go. Very good. And, ooh, I finally have access to it. And there we go. And, come on. There we go. Canary edge. And there we go. They have a breakable body part, but the body breakable is not exactly needed, whatever when you think it. Tainted stereos are actually the only few enemies that are actually tainted in the game. The curio plates aren't needed for really anything that comes to mind in the game, besides a few equipment pieces. Decided though, only if you want to create the equipment pieces though. I wouldn't recommend wasting your time on the equipment pieces because... Oh, you want to stagger me with a melee attack? Oh, why didn't you say so? There we go. And now top. Burning slash, and boom, 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 and division rewards available. I realize division rewards will always do that. Lynn is going to be using Topple, hopefully in about a few seconds, and she has no TP, therefore I can't do Topple.
Assault hammer!
Ah, bloody hell. And shut up. That's it. You're almost dead at least. There we go.
Okay then.
Out of all the enemies though, I think they have a good equipment pieces. Ironically enough, they're actually pretty easy enemies to fight. If you really want to fight them, they actually give a good amount of experience. But besides that though, I really can't say much about them. I'm gonna cut out the rest of the fighting now because they're not needed to fight and you can just fight them for experience. I would recommend doing this beforehand in case you're under-leveled because I recommend it. Man. And on to the next one. Alright, with that done, there's a lot of tainted ones. There's actually 2 tainted type enemies, Tamer, Smora, and Tamer Karo. There's going to be some more tainted ones later in the future, but they're not exactly scary at all. Really, when it comes to tainted enemies, they typically are the same. Nothing really changes all that much. The alien wreckage is pretty much just leftover pieces from battle. You can actually find a lot of the augments if you really want to for physical up. But besides that, though, not really needed. Anyway, Elma got herself Phantom Counter, which means that her overdrive count increases when she uses overdrive. Very useful in practicality, but at the same time, she doesn't get many chances to use it because of her TP spending habit. No matter what I've done with Elma, no matter what, she has way too many TP spending arts, and I can't get rid of it no matter what I do because 100 Shells just hits too hard for me not to deal with it, and really, it's not my fault. Her arts just have way too much TP spending in order to recommend it. If you want my personal opinion, I would say outright, make sure you have arts that will basically increase TP, like as much as possible because of this. If you really want to, I say get rid of one of any auras that you don't need in particular. I'm gonna get rid of one of them. Early Bird is not needed anymore. The chapter is actually pretty short in comparison to other chapters. Now, you can actually just walk by them. Nothing is stopping you from walking around them. They pretty much won't be aggressive towards you. Because unlike the proximity-based enemies like I talked about, these guys are sound-based actuality. If you try to run near them, this happens. Yeah, nothing. They don't see us as a threat. If you had any party members at all that were humanoid, or rather not humanoid, but actually humans or humanoid species that are actually not MIMs, they become highly aggressive. That's pretty much the only thing that's really a big difference. Besides that, though, this chapter is actually one of the shortest in the game, if you've managed to get the area done. Milestone Ridge. This is the explored territory we need. Now, of course, you gotta prepare for a big fight ahead coming up. Yeah, the game loves doing this because it's unfortunate, but for the sake of it, we'll just go on our merry way to see what this mysterious wreckage is.
No signs of any radiation. Infrared, motion sensors, I got nothing. This thing's dead as a doornail.
Oh, man! So it's basically a skill, right? But the make is nothing like ours. Or the ganglions. Where could it be from? Oh, wow! I can't even tell what its armor is made of.
What is this feeling? It's oppressive. It's pulsing off of this thing. It's almost as if the ghost of its pilot is somehow still lingering. And that material there, at its core, it's dark matter. This must be their handiwork.
Is she alright?
Hmm? Oh, sorry. I'm fine, just thinking. Alright, well, we got what we came here for. Let's call in the salvage choppers and get it out of here. Lynn, contact Commander Vandam.
On it.
Right. We should start heading back too.
Just thinking about walking past all those Tainted again makes my knees all wobbly.
Tatsu have just the thing. Friends fuel up with Tatsu tasty lunchbox.
Tatsu?
What are you doing here?
Tatsu knew friends must be hungry, so Tatsu rides spinny plane here to deliver hot meal. Tatsu Hero Pon, after all.
Oh, you idiot! You're gonna attract the Tainted!
Relax, Lindley. After quick lunch, Tatsu fly back home on spinny plane before anyone notice.
And how exactly do you plan to do that? All the spinny planes have already left. You're gonna have to walk back through all those Tainted. You won't last 10 seconds out here.
Huh?
Maybe we can get another chopper here in time.
Too late.
Looks like somebody else wants a hot meal.
Tatsu, don't move an inch, you hear?
Okay.
Look, I understand concern as much as the next guy, Tatsu, but really, man? Unfortunately, Tatsu did something incredibly dim-witted. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. You can't really do anything about this story chapter when it comes to Tatsu's dang silliness. But this is actually the easiest time to get Overdrive charged up from whatever fight's next. Believe me, the next fight after this one is going to be far harder. So, let's get Tornado Blade maxed out. Very good. We have enough for Overdrive. We could use it right now, but I really don't want to. These guys aren't exactly too hard. These Tainted Curio aren't really much of a threat, all things considered. Getting rid of their tail pretty much guarantees them death. Boom. Very good. We actually did a lot of damage already, and it's about to die very quickly. Topple again. Pretty good, all things considered. The back's about to break again, and it's actually pretty easy to deal with. This one's got your name on it. There we go. And, ooh, we got a lot of amount done already. And, wow, new Fortified Splash. A new skill for myself, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, when you level up or gain a rank up, you can get experience enough to actually, you know, heal. Swear to goodness sake, every time I have to belch in the middle of a recording. Pretty much done. Level up for Lau. He's actually a higher level than us.
At the Alpha? Good lord.
Everyone, take him down.
This is the harder fight I was saying today outright. Tainted Sphinx is a unique enemy. Sphinx enemies are not going to be around for a while, so this is the first introduction of them. Tail Swing is a mainstay art that it uses, and it's pretty annoying to get hit by. Keep an eye out what it's doing, and make sure you get rid of the tail immediately when you first encounter it. Otherwise, you're dealing less damage, and you're going to need to make sure they don't deal as much damage as possible. Because of this enemy type, it's going to be a very annoying fight coming ahead. There we go, overdrive time.
There we go. Overdrive.
There we go, very good. I'm going to need to do dive again. Tornado Blade to get more arts back up, and then do this again, and again, and again. Let's get ourselves some more appendage damage off. Very good. I really wish I didn't have the aggro, but unfortunately I can't do anything about it. It sucks, but it sucks. There we go. There we go. Finally, you left me alone. Good grief. And boom, it's dead. Pretty good. Chapter's done already. No, I'm not kidding.
Well, that was fun. Let's get the hell out of here. You've got to be kidding me. The hell is that? Was that thing trying to help us?
Maybe. Or maybe it was just toying with us.
Well, I think I could have taken it.
We should get back to New LA. I want to stop by the hangar and get a better look at that skell.
Right.
You got Sphinx A, which is a unique hollow figure. Now, as you saw that creature, for those who are familiar with Xenoblade Chronicles 1, yes, it looks incredibly similar to something you've all seen before. But for those who are not initiated, that thing is the most powerful enemy in the game, bar none. Now we're all done with that. Let's go check out the mysterious skull that was, well, needed for Vandam.
Good work, people.
Commander? What are you doing out here? Did they seal off the area?
Actually, I was waiting for you, Lynn.
Why me?
You want to tinker with that new alien mech?
Well, I mean, duh.
Good, because I'm putting you in charge of research. You help reel it in, you get first crack at it. You and your team risked a lot out there. You earned it.
Really, sir?
Everything's set up. They're expecting you.
Yes, sir! Oh my god, thank you so much, Commander! Is this even a skell? I mean, the external armor maybe, but I'm not detecting any known materials or components for the purple frame part. In fact, I can't even find a power source. Maybe it's like an idol or something? To some alien god or whatever?
What about a cockpit? Or any space for a pilot?
Let's see here. There is a cavity in the middle of the chest area. If this thing is a vehicle, that'd have to be the cockpit.
Perhaps it's not a weapon? It was abandoned after all, and in that godforsaken place.
But it was also worth the ganglion sacrificing all those soldiers to try and recover it. Surely it must hold some value.
Granted. Now the question is whether we'll be able to uncover it. Ms. Koo is one of our best, but we can't expect her to work miracles.
If you ask me, that's time better spent studying that Ares of yours, Elma. All right, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about, would you? Let me explain. The Ares is what Elma...
Vandam?
Oh, right. Those are your orders. Have I made myself clear?
Quite.
You seem displeased, Gajag. Perhaps the great hero of Roth does not enjoy taking orders from the ganglion. Perhaps he feels it beneath him.
It appears nothing is beneath me of late.
I still hear the anger in your voice, the way you spit out the words. Accept your fate. Then you might find me a more accommodating master, Prince Jog. Oh, but how rude of me. Should I have said former prince?
I never cared much for titles, Counselor Luxar.
its Grand Master, damn you! The entire Ganglion organization is at my command, as are you and your people. I will not remind you again.
Oh, but how rude of me. My sincere apologies, Grand Counselor.
Have you also forgotten the price the Rothian people will pay if you fail me? I promise you, it will not be pretty. What will happen if the humans beat you to the prize? Need I remind you of that as well?
No, you need not.
Then mind your tongue, former prince. Unless your pride can feed and clothe your people. Filthy cur. Yet I will suffer him gladly, if he can help lead me to you, oh great one.
Chapter 6 is now complete. We retrieved the alien mech, however, with many unknowns. The investigation looks to be going tough. And next time on Xenoblade Chronicles X, we will be continuing on the next story in Infinity Missions. See you all next time.